So, you're thinking about getting a dog. That's a complicated thing. It's an involved relationship between the companion that you're going to have in your life.
So Shenzi is a almost 2 years old and she is a Pyrenees. I think most of her bad behaviors stem from boredom or stress.
There's plenty of people who live in small apartments and have large dogs. As long as you can accommodate it and it doesn't drive you crazy, then that certainly can work. And training should kind of start from day one. And and raising a dog and training the dog in some ways are kind of the same thing. They're not always the same thing, but they certainly work hand in hand. A good relationship that you would have with your dog would be boundaries and consistency. That's the ultimate thing is going to provide more of a healthy life, a healthy mental life for your dog. You know, you don't have to train a dog to be shuts and go win trophies for obedience and those kinds of things. Your life dictates the level of training that you would want to have for your dog. If it's a lounge lizard and it's just going to hang out on your couch, and if that's the fullest extent of what you want your dog to be, as just a companion for you, then as long as there's no drama and ruckus, and then that's as far as the raising of the dog has to go. There is something to be said on the personality of the dog, of you, and the relationship that you have with your dog. Every dog understands a certain amount of hierarchy. So that is the way that it has been since the days of the wolves. There's a person in charge, and a dog in charge, and they're the person who dictates what the rules are, and the other ones abide by those rules because that's the way that it is. And if the humans aren't the person in charge, then the dog has to make the choice, even though it doesn't want to say, I'm the person in charge and I'm the one who makes the rules. And then you have a dog that sits on the recliner and won't let the owner sit in it and will growl at them and say, no, this is mine. So this is where the boundaries comes into play, that says that a dog has to understand that the humans are the people that are the dictator of the rules, and that those rules are consistent and do not change. The biggest obstacle that people have when they're raising or training a dog, for me those things are two kind of synonymous, is being able to have a dog that not only are you comfortable with, but interactions with other people. Other people can be comfortable with your dog. If I was to go back and do it again, would I even try to train that into him? Probably not. Not knowing what I know now, because he's just not that type of dog. My other small dog, I can let her out in the front yard and she won't run at all. So, and that's part of the spice of life. It's part of dealing with other people, it's part of dealing with other dogs, and we have great relationships because we're all unique, and we can have that companionship and understand our differences. So, for all the people out there that are trying to find a new companion, there's a lot to consider. But there's a lot of fun to be had, even with all the responsibility. So, good luck to everyone out there.
I don't think most people realize that there is a balance between praise and punishment in training dogs. I see this a lot, especially with younger dog owners, that they just do one or the other, and that makes their dog very unhappy. All of the challenges that you're going to face with your dogs is going to depend on the individual dog and their breed. Though, in my experience, a larger dog, since they mature slower than smaller dogs, that's a big challenge in and of itself. If somebody is considering a dog, I think they should do their research They should know what exactly they're willing to tolerate at the very least, because if they don't like loud, consistent barking, they probably shouldn't get a Pyrenees, for example. Everybody should understand that dogs take a lot of attention and time. If they're unwilling to put in the time to raise and train that dog, they should probably just stick with having a fish. If somebody is struggling to have a happy relationship with their dog, they should have a few things to consider. What's making the dog unhappy? What's making them unhappy? What are they willing to do and what can they do? If it's all training, maybe they should consider getting a trainer. If they just hate everything about it, maybe they shouldn't have that dog. She isn't really treat motivated and gets far too excited when she's praised very positively as opposed to calmly. And neither of these were an issue when I was training Khan. He took treats just fine. There was no such thing as too much praise. She gets overly excited when she is praised. So we have to work on exactly what level of praise we can give her without her completely forgetting everything she just got praised for. For generalized training, a consistent training and practice schedule would probably work out really well for her. Correcting these behaviors will make her a more manageable dog. I get frustrated with her a lot, and that's not fair to her. Since she is a larger breed dog who ages slower, she's going to also end up with age regression, which means that she's going to act like a puppy even when we don't want her to. And so she tends to go back and forth between retaining the training that she has and having to have it reinforced. In order to better reinforce her behaviors as we move forward with training, I think personally I need to be more calm and more patient with her. They're really good companions, and I would suggest getting a dog if you can handle it.